The proud rose. Once upon a time, in a dry and wide desert, a rose grew. She had deep red petals and a sweet, lovely smell. She was proud of how beautiful she looked. She stood tall and confident among the other desert plants. Near the rose grew a cactus. He was green, with thick skin and many sharp spines. The cactus did not have pretty petals or a sweet smell. He was quiet and calm, happy with how he looked. The rose often looked at the cactus and thought, "How sad to look like that. So rough, so spiky." She felt sorry for him and believed she was much better. She took pride in her beauty and ignored the cactus. One day, the rose said to the cactus, "You are so ugly and hard. I don't know why you're even here." The cactus stayed silent. He didn't get angry or say anything back. Even though the rose made rude comments every day, the cactus chose to stay quiet. He did not want to argue. He just stood there, peaceful and strong. Other plants in the desert saw what was happening. They felt bad for the cactus. They tried to speak to the rose. "Dear rose," they said, "every plant is special in its own way." But the rose did not listen. She said, "I am beautiful, and that makes me special." She thought the cactus was not important. She only cared about herself. As time went by, the desert became hotter. There was very little rain. Water became hard to find. All the plants started to feel the heat and dryness. The rose began to suffer. Her petals became dry and weak. Her color faded. She was very thirsty and tired. But the cactus was still strong. His body kept water inside. He looked healthy and fresh. The desert heat didn't hurt him much. The rose looked at the cactus and thought, "How is he still healthy?" She was surprised and confused. She started to realize that maybe she was wrong about him. Feeling weak, the rose asked the cactus, "Dear cactus, I'm so thirsty. Could you help me?" She was not proud anymore. She just wanted to survive. The cactus looked at her with kindness. He said, "Of course, I can help you." He shared his water with the rose. Slowly, the rose began to feel better. The rose was surprised. "You helped me, even after how I treated you?" she asked. The cactus smiled. He said, "Kindness is always the better choice." The rose felt very sorry. "I was wrong to judge you by your looks," she said. "You are strong and kind. That's more important than being pretty." The cactus nodded and said, "It's not what's outside that matters most. True beauty comes from the heart." The rose listened and agreed. From that day, the rose changed. She was not proud anymore. She respected the cactus. They became good friends. They talked every day. They shared stories and helped each other. The rose enjoyed their friendship. She felt lucky to have the cactus by her side. The other desert plants noticed the change. They saw the rose being kind and friendly. They were happy to see her grow. Everyone felt more welcome in the desert. The desert was still dry and hot. But now, the plants worked together. They helped each other stay strong. The desert felt more alive and full of care. The rose saw beauty in all plants now. She admired their strength and differences. She learned to be thankful for all living things. Her heart had grown, just like her petals once had. The rose now saw the cactus differently. She respected his strength. She understood that surviving the heat was true power. Not just looking pretty. The rose had changed from the inside. She was now kind and caring. She loved helping others. She was proud of who she had become. She was no longer proud of just her looks. She was happy because she had friends. She had learned something important. Kindness lasts longer than beauty. The desert taught her many things. She learned patience, respect, and love. She was thankful for those lessons. She would never forget them. She promised to treat every plant with kindness. She would never judge anyone again. She knew now that everyone has something special, even if it doesn't show on the outside. The rose and the cactus became close friends. They were always there for each other. They laughed, learned, and grew together. Their friendship made the desert bloom. One day, the rose looked around the desert. She saw beauty everywhere. It was not just her petals. It was the love and respect among all the plants. Subscribe to English Refresh for more stories like this.